In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the exterior door handle on your Ford Explorer located on the external part of your doors. Up behind the door pull here, there's two Phillips head screws. I'm going to go ahead and use your screwdriver, loosen and remove these. I'm going to use a little pocket screwdriver, and we're just going to go in behind this trim here, behind the handle, and we just want to go ahead and pop this loose. Slide that off and set that aside. Using a trim tool, we're going to go between the door panel and the door, and we want to go ahead and separate the door panel, popping the plastic clips around the perimeter. We want to use our trim tool. I'm going to go ahead and pop these two units out, disconnect the harnesses on the back. Just going to gently go in behind here. And we'll go ahead and pop these out. Just going to work this switch out. I'm going to pop these little tabs off on the connector. And work this door panel out. I'm going to remove our switch panel here. And how this actually locks in is there's a little tab right here, as well as a tab over here on the front side. You're just going to gently push those down, and that'll release this entire switch unit. We have a connector here. I'm going to press down this little spring tab right here, disconnect that harness, set that door panel aside. I want to go ahead and twist your bulb out here. Now this harness has a little retainer on it. I'm going to go ahead and use our trim tool, pop that out like so. I want to go ahead and remove this water shield here. Separate this. Go ahead and set that aside. Now at this point here, we turn the key to the on position. We're going to go ahead and utilize our power window switch here. What we want to do is go ahead and raise the window up. Now what we want to take a look at now is through this hole, there is a rivet right here. Now there's one here, and you're going to access the second one over to the right here. Now these rivets here, we're going to go ahead and punch out the center of the rivets using a punch, and then we're going to drill those out. Once those are removed, we're then going to be able to remove our glass from the regulator. We'll pull the glass up and tape it up into position. I'm going to put a punch in the center of that there. I'm just going to punch out the center. We're going to do the same on this one over here. Go right on the center and just give it a quick tap. Now that the center is punched out, we can go ahead and use a drill, and we're going to open that up and pop those rivets off. I'm going to go ahead and just hold this up with a support strap. There are 3 rivets here. Let's go ahead and punch out the center on all 3 of these rivets. We'll go ahead and use our drill bit. I'm going to go ahead and get to that rivet. All right, drill off the head of the rivet. We're now going to go ahead and drill out the rest of the rivets. So now what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and power the glass with the regulator up. Lock that into position. This is the point we want to go ahead and tape and secure that glass in place. We're going to use our special suction cup units here to hold this. If you don't have these here, you can simply use painter's tape or something like that to secure this. This basically keeps the glass from dropping down inside the door while you work. Now at this point here, we're going to go ahead and try and lower the regulator, and the glass should stay in its up position. So now the glass is in its upward position. The regulator is now separate. Secure a switch up out of the way. We're going to shut off our key. We're going to go ahead and drill out the other 3 rivets. With all 3 of those off, our next step is to go ahead and disconnect our power window motor right here. Going to gently lift up on this little tab right here. Got to wiggle this connector out. Now let's go ahead and remove these 3 nuts using our 7/16 socket. Remove our securing strap. I'm going to drop this harness down. I'm going to use our Phillips head screwdriver. I'll loosen this screw here holding the door handle in place. And then we have this screw right here. Then you want to go ahead and grab the handle. We're going to push it forward. On the back side, I want to go ahead and remove the rod from the back side of the handle. On the back side, there's going to be a little metal clip. We simply want to go ahead and pop this clip up. That is going to release the lock on the rod. Slide the rod off of the handle right here. The reason why we're doing this is that we need to have this up and out of the way so we can go ahead and remove our regulator from the door. We're going to go ahead and remove the 7/16 bolt right here. This here holds the glass guide on the inside of the door. In order for us to gain access to the back side of our door handle to remove the actuator rod, we're going to go ahead, loosen, and remove these. I should be able to manipulate this. going to allow for us to get to the back side of the rod here once we remove the handle itself. Pop out the middle of the rivets and then drill those out. Lift up the handle, remove that. Now we're going to go back to the inside. We're going to disconnect the rod securing the handle. Now I want to go ahead and remove this rod from the back side of our handle. Now we're going to remove our glass guide here. There's just a little wire harness held in place with a little plastic retainer clip. I'm just going to use a small pry tool here. I'm going to separate this so we can remove the glass guide completely. There's a yellow retainer clip here for the handle actuator rod. I'm going to go ahead and pop this off, and that's going to release the actuator rod. We're going to use our pick, release that from the back side, and that's going to allow us to go ahead and pull this actuator rod out, like so. Just go ahead and remove the door handle from the front side of the door. Now right here on the outside, I'm going to go ahead and swing this hook out like so. And we're going to reinstall this rod on our new handle. Install the hook. Just going to rotate that around into place. Want to make sure that the remainder of your rivet is gone, and ours isn't right there. Now with that clear, go ahead and install that rod down inside. Now go ahead and position that handle into place. Now I'm going to use a medium-sized flathead screwdriver, and I'm going to put it inside here just to use that as a wedge per se to hold that handle open. Now I want to go ahead and install our rivets into place. And let's go ahead and get these secured. Once we have that one secured, I'm going to go ahead and move this over here to hold that open. So we have our actuator rod right here that attaches to the door handle. This has some play in it. So what you want to do is make sure that that is fully all the way up when you're installing into the latch here. And then push this yellow locking latch over. Snap that on to lock it into place. Test that outside handle, and that works perfect. Going to lower our glass guide down in. And go ahead and install that little harness. Push our glass guide up and onto the body. Install our little harness clip right here. On the exterior portion right here, we're going to get to install our bolt. There's actually a mark there from where the washer was originally. Go ahead and secure that, and just give that glass guide a wiggle, make sure that's secure. Let's go ahead and lower our regulator down into position. So I pushed the regulator up and I got our upper nut installed right here. We're going to swing this bracket over and into place. So reach inside, adjust the regulator so you can get your rivet in there. We're also going to go ahead and line up the upper one as well. Secure these nuts. Now right now we have our glass channel right here. Here's one of the mounting holes. The other one is over on this side over here. So we're going to slide this over. We're going to raise our regulator using our power window switch until that hole lines up inside this hole here. Just like so. With this lined up, we're now going to go ahead and release the suction cups or your tape for your glass and slowly lower it down until it latches onto our unit, and then we'll go ahead and secure it. Now we have our bolt here. We did apply some blue Loctite. Very, very important because these will loosen with vibration if you do not use Loctite. Go ahead and install that bolt through the glass, through the regulator. And install a nut. Now we did source these here. They did not come with the regulator. Once you have that nut and bolt secured, let's go ahead and install the nut and bolt on the other side. Go ahead and work that through. And go ahead and install that nut. Go ahead and snug down the nut over here. And then we'll go ahead and tighten those down. Now for our actuator rod for our door handle, we had that little metal clip right here. What you're first going to do is take the door handle. You want the handle to face down. Insert that into that rod and then flip it horizontal. And then go ahead and take that clip, slide it over the top. You're going to snap it onto the top of that rod. That locks it into place. You're going to push this in and then push it back, and this will lock into place. Just like that. Install your upper Phillips head screw. Snug that down. We have our lower screw here. Go ahead and snug that down and pull that foam back. Go ahead and install your water shield, pulling the harness through. And we can go ahead and line up our water shield where it should be going. Now, if you don't have any sticky material left here and this just wants to fall off, you could simply use a good strong tape. Doesn't have to be fancy. We just want to make sure that we hold that water shield up into place. We continue to do this around certain areas around the perimeter of the door. go ahead and connect our connectors here. We have this one right here. We have our lower lamp down below, but let's go ahead and install our switch panel first. That pushes in and locks in. We'll go ahead and twist our door panel bulb in place. And on the top of the panel here, we have this connector here we need to feed through. That is going to be for the mirror switch here. And this switch is keyed, so that'll fit together like that. Let's go ahead and fit our door panel up into place. I'm going to lower this down. We want to go ahead and line up our plastic push pins. Push all of our plastic locking buttons on. Install our 2 Phillips head screws. You want to snug those in. Once you have those snug, we're going to install our little door panel trim here. And you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.